Hello, Rosy Hardy here. I'm going to do a demonstration here of how to sow seed of Lathyrus Matucana. It is one of the best sweet peas that you can grow. So what you need is your seed packet like this, and you would just tear it off. Usually on the reverse of your seed packet it will tell you when you can sow, where you can sow, etc. Lathyrus seed is quite large, and you'll notice I'm wearing gloves, and it's actually quite a good idea when you're handling seed to wear gloves, more from the point of view not only to protect the seed from any oils that are in your hand or hand cream or anything else that you may have put on your hand, but also from the point of view that you never know what the seed that you're using, whether it's poisonous or not. So I always recommend using gloves. So you will see it is large, round, quite hard seed, and sometimes you need to do something other than straight away just putting it into the containers that you're going to grow it in. There are other treatments you need to do beforehand. So treatment is very easy of the seed to help with the germination. One is you can soak it in water like this. So this is just warm water, and you would just literally put the seeds into the water. You will notice that 2 have sat on the surface of the water there, and the rest are all at the bottom. You leave them for an hour, maybe 2 hours, and just let them see whether they absorb water. The one on this side, or coming through, there we go, it went straight down to the bottom. That means it's absorbed water and it is perfectly viable bit of seed. Once you've let them soak for a couple of hours, then they're ready to sow. The other thing you can do, I mentioned that they've got a very hard casing, and sometimes you just use something abrasive like a bit of sandpaper like this, and you can just literally carefully sandpaper all of the seed, which is just scratching the surface of the seed coating. And then once you've done that, you can either sow directly or you can soak again. As you can see with the ones that have been soaked, they're all sitting nicely at the bottom here. They're ready to go into your compost. Now, there are 2 or 3 different ways that you can actually sow these. They can go directly into seed sowing compost into a pot like this. Make sure that you've tamped down the compost nicely so that it's firm. And then you can, because these are quite big seeds, you can either drop them on the surface like this and push them down and then cover them over, or you can make a hole in the compost and drop them in like that. With a pot like this, probably only about 6 seeds to a pot like that, and then give them a good water. And that's a water over the top, let them stand and give them a little bit more water. And that way they will imbibe water if you're putting them in dry. If you're actually getting them from the ones that have been soaked, I always recommend tipping them out onto something that you can pick them up from so that you can put them into your containers individually. If you've got young children, then it's a really good idea to use an old cut-off water bottle, drinks bottle, whatever they've got, and take off the top bit, put some holes into the bottom here so that you've got drainage, and then take your soaked seeds and put them down the side of the actual jar, bottle like this. And then what will happen is, once you put the water into this, those seeds, the children will be able to see the roots all coming down here and getting right the way down to the bottom, and then they'll see the green coming up. And this acts as a little tiny greenhouse in itself, because this stays warm here, a little bit of warmth there, and it's a really easy way of growing really good early sweet peas for the garden. After a few weeks and your seedlings are ready to prick out, put them into a big pot like this, 5 or 6 of them all together, and they'll grow up and make a fantastic plant like this, which will then flower through the summer for you.